Charlene of Monaco opens up like never before, revealing a personal tragedy that turned her life and that of her entire family upside down. Between emotion, fragility, and strength, discover a captivating report that delves behind the scenes of the principality and the princess's extraordinary destiny. Charlene of Monaco is opening up about a very personal tragedy, a tragedy she describes as devastating for her entire family. This rare and moving confession serves as a reminder that behind the gilded walls of the prince's palace, human pain and fragility spare no one, not even a princess. Since her marriage to Prince Albert II in 2011, Charlene's life has often been scrutinized, dissected, and criticized. She has sometimes been seen smiling and radiant, but also melancholic and distant, giving rise to incessant rumors about her well-being and her marriage. Yet, rarely has she expressed her emotions with such intensity. What she has revealed today transcends social gatherings and protocols, for it is a personal wound, a suffering that has affected everyone around her and left an indelible mark on her life. When a princess chooses to break the silence and speak of her pain, it is always a moment charged with emotion and symbolism. Charlene, known for her discretion and reserved temperament, has decided to lift the veil on what she calls a devastating moment for her entire family. But behind these words lie years of tension, struggle, and courage in the face of adversity. She has never been a princess like the others. Hailing from South Africa, an Olympic swimmer, and an accomplished athlete, Charlene had to adapt to a codified world, a monarchy marked by the legacy of the legendary Grace Kelly, and a Monegasque population very attentive to the sovereign's every gesture. Her journey is that of a woman who had to reconcile her personal identity with the expectations of a throne. Yet, behind the official parades and the flashes of photographers, the princess's private life has often been punctuated by hardship. The tragedy evoked by Charlene is not only a personal pain, it also reflects the fragility of an often idealized princely family. Rumors about her health, her extended stays abroad, and her absences from important events had already fueled debate and concern. But her words confirm a deeper truth. The pain experienced by her and those close to her was not a mere rumor, but a difficult reality to bear. To understand what she is going through, we must look back at the recent years when the princess was repeatedly absent, notably when she was hospitalized in South Africa, officially for medical reasons related to an ENT infection. These long months away from Monaco had already raised questions, but also highlighted a painful separation from her children, Crown Prince Jacques and Princess Gabriella, who were still very young at the time. Being a mother and not being able to hug her children every day was an unbearable ordeal for her, a silent pain that left a deep mark on her. Her return to Monaco had been expected as a relief, but reintegrating into princely life was not easy. Balancing her obligations, her fragile health, and public pressure proved complex. Charlene's recent revelations show the extent to which this experience weighed on her entire family. Albert, as sovereign, had to manage both the affairs of state and the climate of concern surrounding his wife's condition. The children, still too young to fully understand, nevertheless felt the absence and unease that hovered around them. The drama described was therefore not limited to a physical ordeal, it was an emotional shock that shook the family's equilibrium, an upheaval that left invisible scars. There is a disarming sincerity in her words. We sense that the princess wants to share a part of her truth, perhaps to shatter the fixed image of a perfect princely life. By evoking this moment as devastating, she acknowledges the fragility of her home, but also her own vulnerability. This confession humanizes a figure often judged through the prism of the media and the inevitable comparisons with her mother-in-law, Grace Kelly. Charlene is not a Hollywood actress turned princess. She is a top athlete, a fighter, but also a woman facing intimate challenges that go far beyond the splendor of a throne. Modern society is fascinated by royal stories, by princesses who live behind palace walls. But what Charlene reveals is that royal life doesn't protect against pain. She exposes a striking paradox. One can be a princess, dressed in diamonds, surrounded by protocol, and yet still feel a loneliness, a distress, an anguish that nothing can erase. These words resonate far beyond Monaco. They resonate with all those around the world who have experienced absence, illness, separation, or the fear of losing a loved one. Charlene has often been perceived as distant, sometimes even trapped in a role too heavy to bear. But this time, her confessions reveal a woman in search of the truth, a mother who wants to protect her children, and a human being who dares to speak of her wounds. Her statement is not intended to elicit pity, but to remind us that even in a modern fairy tale, trials exist. And this confession is so powerful because it comes from a princess who has too often been reduced to frozen photos or malicious rumors. Now, she's taking back control of her story. This testimony raises a broader reflection on how we perceive royal families. Are we too inclined to forget their humanity, to view them as frozen symbols rather than as beings of flesh and blood? By sharing her pain, Charlene of Monaco invites us to see beyond the pomp and circumstance, to recognize that behind every official smile lies a story of resilience and inner struggle. While the rock continues to embody luxury, beauty, and monarchical stability, Charlene's story brings an unexpected dimension, that of fragility and authenticity. These rare and sincere words will undoubtedly mark a turning point in our perception of the princess, but also in the image of a monarchy that, despite its apparent perfection, remains profoundly human. And you, as you discover these moving secrets from Charlene of Monaco, do you think a princess can truly escape life's wounds, or that, ultimately, behind every crown hides a pain we're still unaware of? Don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment to support the channel and never miss any of the upcoming captivating reports.